What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth. It's your man Mo. Got my man Hill in the building.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Got my man P in the building.
What up, people?
Fellas, got what, 2 weeks college football down right about now. A year and 2 games in the bag for Deion side Colorado. They got smashed by Nebraska last weekend. Is it too early to expect more from Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes?
If this
Or
was
is
year
it too
one,
or if it's too soon to
have him on the chopping block.
to have him on a hot seat at the very least.
He brings too much to that school. Like I've never seen a buzz since that guy. I think Deion's gonna be able to walk when he wants to walk. It's one of the weird situations. I mean, I wonder how bad does it have to get for them to say like he has to maybe 3-10 this year, something like that.
Yeah, I think it depends on the fans. When people stop showing up, that's when his job will be in jeopardy. They could go 0 forever, but if they fill up the stadium, why would you fire him? I mean, I know, sports, you want to win and everything, but the bottom line is the bottom line. He brings Colorado millions and millions. So the hot seat now, I don't think he's close to the hot seat yet because we're talking about him.
Yeah. Do you see a path forward for him as far as being able to attract the type of talent to have the type of success that matches the hype that he brings to Colorado?
Okay, so I'm biased. I think we all are. We grew up Deion's fans, whatever. I expected them to be more far along. I know it's only been a year, but I thought they were sure up their defensive and offensive line by now. And so it's not so much that they're losing these games; it's how they're losing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any improvement by the line play. Like I know Shador, whatever. He's a good quarterback. At the very least, he's good. If you don't think he's great, fine. He's a good quarterback. Travis Hunter is like one of the most dynamic players we've seen in the past maybe 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So they have the skill plays. I just think it's the line, and I'm surprised that they haven't improved it. And I believe I forgot his name, Cotton. Pardon me if I'm killing his name, but I think he was like the number 1, number 2 recruit in the nation. But that's just one lineman. That's like a left tackle. I don't know what they were doing with everybody else because it's not, So I just think it's line play. So I'm disappointed at their line that they didn't upgrade their line play from last year.
And I don't know how to equate it except just for the eye test for me, but I actually think Shador is, to me, well above average. Does just have a shot with that offensive line. He's on the run within 3 seconds of a snap. Like you said, an offensive line, I mean, the best thing I can think of is saying, like, the offensive line was decimated. But I was just saying that week 10. This is week 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, they have to do a better job. Like Pete said, offensive line, defensive line, which, I mean, they get shredded.
But with Deion's
Cachet
and persona, I would have thought, at least for me, that he would have been able to get some professional or former professionals on both of those lines.
But I think that's
know
what
he's
Deion,
working with Warren Sapp at one point, and
he's still there, I think. But I think but that's the key, though. I don't think Deion's cachet doesn't have no problem getting the player. I think Deion is learning the game. It's what players he needs. I think once he figures out, all right, I need to draft a line and put them together, but I need to do some type of research to see these players and how would they fit. Then I'm able to get them to Colorado. I think he just went big name, and let me go after them, as opposed to how they fit as an offensive or a defensive line.
And I guess my question is, and I know you guys can't answer it because you guys aren't Deion, but how is he using those former star players that he's bringing onto his staff? Like my expectation, like for example, you have a Warren Sapp on your staff. You give Warren Sapp the keys to the defensive line and say, go. Make them great. And I'm assuming that, hey, Warren Sapp knows what it takes to have a great defensive line. And that he would do the same thing for his offensive line.
But I think that's where you nailed it with Deion, where I think he's failed. I think he's got people who has been great in their career as opposed to someone who's great at their job. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't translate to you knowing what a great player would be. You know what I mean? Like, a leader is only as good as his people underneath him. If he's able to build them up so they can actually, do their jobs. So I think he needs to get a coaching staff which can do the job that he needs, and he can go in as a closer instead of looking for someone and saying, like, listen, I'm Deion, I hear about you, you want to play for me, yada, yada. And not to say that's what's happening, but like you said, I don't know of a more exciting coach to put me in an advantageous spot to get to the NFL besides him, and would have been Saban at the time. So my whole thing is, if I go through Deion, sure enough, I'm going to have eyes on me. This is what I should be doing. But as he has for Travis and Shedeur, he should be looking to get a coaching staff who can bring players who wants to have that same type of effect on the line. To where you're saying, oh, my goodness, that Alabama defensive line you pretty much always know about, and their safeties. Then it's quarterback Q. He just so happened to be good, and you get the Heisman. But their lineman is usually who really get picked first.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because I don't know who the offensive defense linemen for Alabama were for the past 10 to 15. I don't even know who they were. I don't think they were NFL stars. So I guess maybe something's getting lost in translation. Like, I'm not saying Warren Sapp might become a great defensive line coach or defensive coordinator or whatever, but it might be one of those things where I know how to do it, but I'm not sure how to instruct you how to do it. You know what I mean? I know it sounds simple. Like, if you know how to do it, why can't you tell him how to do it? But as we've seen in multiple sports, it just doesn't work like that.
And maybe this is a shortcoming of Deion Sanders, in the sense that, because for me, Deion, besides the hype of being Deion Sanders and being a great player in prime time and stuff like that, part of my thought process as far as why he would be a good coach, a college coach, is the people he has access to. And I'm assuming that extends to coaches as well. You know what I mean? You have access to a whole coaching fraternity of the NFL that either coach you or you do by happenstance. You know what I mean? And I guess for me, I'm expecting him to pull more from that and put, maybe. And I know this is a long shot. He has a job in the NFL, but like, hey, when Brian Flores is going through something, hey, pull Brian Flores from the NFL and say, hey, come work for me at Colorado, be a defensive coordinator. I don't expect you to stay for long, but hey, help me out these first 2 years. Go back to the NFL with this under your belt, as far as, hey, helping me develop this program. I'm expecting them to have more access to resources like that and put them to work in Colorado.
But it takes a lot for a DC or even a linebacker coach to say, I'm going to take a step back, to possibly take a step forward. If you're ready in the NFL, you pretty much want to stay up there. And it's a give and take. So let's just say you're an up-and-coming coach, heck of a scout for talent, and able to put it together. Do I go to Colorado and say, I can turn this defense around? And will they say, all right, the eyes are on them, the defense is nice, and I'll take Paul Q as the defense coordinator. Look how he changed Colorado around. I'll take Mo, and look how he changed the offensive line around, so they're protecting Shedeur. Now, do you say, I'll get wise and I'll get picked up as a coach, or do they say, Deion has finally figured it out? And I think that goes to a lot of coaches' head. Will I get the credit for turning it around, or has Deion finally found out or has turned it around? Like, will it overshadow me, and will I be just stuck in mediocrity?
And I think that would be the benefit of being in the college system, because college system has shown that, hey, we will give credit to those coaches and give those coaches opportunities to be somebody. Like Nick Saban, half of the SEC schools are falling from his tree. You know what I mean? As far as, hey, Lane Kiffin, whatchamacallit?
Kirby Smart.
You know what I mean? A whole bunch of people that, were coordinators for Nick Saban got jobs now. So I would assume, especially with Deion and the amount of attention he's getting, and where Colorado was before he got there, and especially the way they were last year, if he brought in that type of coach this year, oh yeah, they definitely get some of the credit.
Yeah, but Nick Saban has a track record. You know what I mean? Like, so Deion hasn't won anything. He's just Deion. So to pick off that coaching tree, and you're gonna say I'm gonna take a fly and go over there, and maybe I can change it around. And then when you get there, you finally look at it and say, "Man, this is in shambles." Like what's he doing? I mean, we're on the outside looking in, so I'm not too sure. I'm only assuming, but I think it's a learning curve in which Deion is finding out right now that I have to work within and then work my way out, as opposed to talent-wise and camaraderie on the line. I should have probably went, line out and then built my team around the line. That's what it all is with and I'm not going to say college football, just in football in general. You get your offensive and defensive lines, sturdied up. It doesn't matter who you have back there.
Okay. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think Deion should be on the hot seat? Do you think he's doing enough at Colorado? Obviously, he's not doing enough. The record shows that. But can he do more? Or is it just the circumstances are what they are, and hey, he's doing the best with what he has. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification on the top so you know when the next video is coming out. And don't forget, you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Going into the NFL, this is the retirement discussion for us. You got two quarterbacks out there that I think really should be thinking about retirement at this time for two totally different reasons. First, we have, let's go with Tua from the Miami Dolphins. Just had another concussion. This would be his fourth concussion, including his last year at Alabama. And I hate to tell people, even advise people on how to live their life and whatnot. But at this point, it seems that he's putting his life in danger by being on the field, at least to me. Because I don't know if you guys got to see the game and saw the hit that occurred, but it didn't seem particularly aggressive. It didn't seem like it was a hard impact. It seemed like it was a relatively normal NFL, hey, somebody slides into you. The defensive player didn't target him. He fell into the defensive player's chest and then was concussed. That's the most disturbing part to me, because it didn't feel like, and maybe y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, it didn't feel like Damar Hamlin hit him. It felt like Damar Hamlin got hit by him because he fell into Damar Hamlin. If anything, Damar Hamlin tried to catch him. And he was concussed before he hit the ground. And
yeah, I mean, to cut it short, not to cut you off, but he should retire just for his own safety. I don't. To me, it's, if you think he should still play, I don't want to. Not you or any of us, but just in general, I think for his own safety, he should retire, because he's what, 20? He's probably like under 25 years old. He has a whole life ahead of him. He has his guaranteed money. I would take my money and go home.
Apparently, a couple billion wasn't enough for this league. I mean, I love the NFL. You admitted to CTE. You changed the helmets. And you're contemplating whether that one of your franchises keep this guy. You should be working to send him home. Even if it takes him, you're paying him out over a sense of a year. Show a sense of good faith to those that care. Like, he's going through CTE right now. We're not questioning whether he's suffering through CTE, because the hit wasn't that impactful. But his response is still, like, he's still stiffening it up. He has brain injury. You know what I'm saying? Like, so take him out.
And
another lawsuit's going to be coming.
You have to protect him from him.
Right. And your business.
Yeah.
Like, you care about the players, so you say, then this should be a talk about, in the ways in which we take care to and take care of himself.
Now, let me ask you this. Going on that line, do you think the NFL should take it out of his hands, the decision out of his hands?
They're only going to do it if people call for it. They don't. The NFL doesn't care about its players. So the only way they'll do that is if public opinion, they think they'll lose money by keeping them in the league. Or
agreed.
Right. That's the only reason. It's not because we want to keep the kids safe. It's because we want to make sure our fans remain our fans.
Is this? Why don't we care about it as fans?
No, we do. We're talking about it right now.
But to the point where
protesting or something,
or more of an uproar of it. Like, hey, y'all should take two out, or shouldn't allow players to have more than 3 concussions.
Because for me, it's multiple things. One, you pay billions to previous athletes, and you're still having. You did things to help it out with the kickoff, the spearing, the targeting. Sure, it's great, but I think sports betting is going to override most of this stuff. It's too much money flowing in, and if you are unable to say, like, let's specifically to it as your prototype one, where you can make an example of this and say, listen, we took care of our players. We're moving forward. We're going to make them whole. Then I don't know what to say from their end. The other end is no one's putting a gun to Tua's head to say, like, I still want to do this. There is some compliance with the player as well.
But for me, I kind of chalk that up to the nature of being an athlete in that profession. Like, hey,
whatever you do,
they train them up to be warriors.
But
like,
then
hey,
you have the name,
shake it off.
But there's always, regardless of what, if you're drowning in water, your natural instinct is to survive. It's not to just die. You know what I mean? So he has the ability to say no. Like, he still can fight and say, no, I'm not healthy enough. I'm not doing it. I don't care how much he's been. I don't care if he's been playing football since 6 months. Survival comes into play here.
But like I said, you're dealing with a sport where oftentimes, hey, they'll ask you, are you hurt or are you injured?
I totally get that part. And the answer 9 times out of 10. But I get the culture. I totally get it.
So, hey.
That's sports competitive in general. You don't want to seem, quote unquote, and I'm sorry for this, you want to seem soft. I got that.
Yeah, I think
you will be laid out.
It's culture and it's money. Like, you can say the same thing for boxing. You can say, because it's not talking about NFL here. We're talking about MMA,
every sport,
boxing,
tennis,
the
basketball.
Reason, it's not good for your health, but it makes them a lot of money. So people turn a blind eye to it and say, let's get this money. That's all it is. No one's putting a gun to your head to be a boxer, MMA, or NFL player. You chose the life. So that's what it is.
So I guess I don't have an uproar at all, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, why isn't it? Because I feel that both parties are compliant. If you're telling me they're forcing him to do it, then I would feel bad and I would be upset with the NFL. To me, it's 50-50 in this situation.
So should the NFL have, like, a rule, like, hey, if you have more than 3 concussions, you have to take certain X amount of time out, or
only if
we
it's
might
enough,
have to retire you.
Only if it's enough uproar. Like, I think you're looking for the NFL to save the people. They don't care about the people.
They're a business. It's bottom line.
Yeah, unless it hurts the business. This kickoff stuff, this targeting, that's because of the business. They don't want to get banned. CTE was all in the news. They don't want to get banned. They want to see the game safer. They want parents to let their kids play football so they can continue to, they don't want to kill the golden goose. That's all it is. For in my vantage point, all it is about the bread. So if Tua getting concussed weekly doesn't affect their bottom line, they'll let him go out there and get concussed weekly.
And you'll find a group of doctors that'll say something that it is what it is.
It's the team doctor. We own the doctors. They're our employees. Of course, we're going to tell them they're going to do what we tell them to do.
Okay. next quarterback, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns. Now, some would say he should be on the hot seat.
All should say that. Not some.
Because of his subpar play.
All. And the league should force him out.
But recently, he had another lawsuit brought against him.
Allegation, absolutely.
Allegation as well. It is, 23 now?
Not that many.
No, 24, excuse me. He
Who's
settled
counting?
22.
Who's counting?
He settled 22.
Who's counting?
Drexler, Jordan,
And whatnot.
Sometimes they tell me it's easy to settle like them to get in my way, but more times than not, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So easier to settle 22 is anyway. Continue.
So I mean, and he's been playing terribly since
Absolutely.
he's been back.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he's coming off of a shoulder injury, but I think I saw a stat where he didn't pass 5 yards. He didn't complete a pass 5 yards. Should the NFL and should Deshaun himself be thinking about retirement, letting this go? Especially considering all the off-the-field issues and then coupled with the fact that you're no longer the player that you used to be. Actually, the way he's been playing, I wonder how he got there. NFL, I mean.
Oh, he was one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
But,
I don't see none of that, though, P.
no, we saw it in what was it?
Houston.
Houston Texans.
definitely.
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago.
He was
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
Him and Mahomes at one point.
amazing,
was-
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a similar situation. As far as the legal stuff, it's the bottom line.
He doesn't produce. That's what you.
Yeah, if they were
Yeah,
undefeated and he was putting up numbers, this wouldn't even be a story.
I mean, they're hoping for this clause as a way to, I'm sure, to get out of it. But if not, he'll get trotted out there for maybe the next 5, 6 years. They're paying him guaranteed money. But hoping that he has a sense of good faith and leaves? No. Not at all.
Hey, let us know what you guys think. Do you think these two quarterbacks should retire? Do you think Tua should watch out for his health and retire because of the 4 concussions he suffered playing football? Do you think Deshaun Watson needs to retire because of his subpar play and off-the-field issues? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. And don't forget, you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com.
Boy, the Texans dodge one.
Wow. CJ Stroud is looking better and better. Basketball, WNBA, playoffs are almost here, fellas. Almost here. Asia Wilson is on pace to score 1,000 points this season. She's already captured the record for most points in the season. For the season, she's averaging 27 and 10. I think she submitted her case for league MVP. I think it should be a unanimous pick. Now, my only question is, does she belong on the Mount Rushmore of the WNBA? And let me also mention that she's also vying for her 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, I mean, I think as great, and I mean great as Asia is, I think she has some work to do. She has 2.
Cheryl
Swoops, Cool,
Cynthia Cooper.
Lisa Leslie, Tarasi.
Leslie Tarazi.
Maya
Maya
Moore.
Moore.
So 2 chips. She's cemented as one of the greatest to ever do it. Mount Rushmore.
She's better than Breanna Stewart right now?
They both
Her
got.
career?
They both got 2.
I think
Neck and neck.
I think her and Breanna I think if I was to pick any player in the WNBA to be comparable to Asia, it would be Breanna Stewart. And I think Stewie probably has the best chance of challenging her in her records.
She's on pace. definitely clearly on pace. Her career is better than Candace Parker.
Yeah, I just
I
don't.
think at this point, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I don't think she's on the Mount Rushmore yet. I think she could get there, but I don't. 2 championships. There's about maybe 10 players that have what she has, so I can't really say you're top 4. Not yet. But it's a work in progress. She's still out here.
Right path.
Yeah.
Numbers are crazy.
Yeah, and I would equate her to if Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett had a daughter, it would be Asia Wilson. You know what I mean? I think she's fundamentally sound like Tim Duncan, and just a solid presence down low, and solid on defense. You know she's going to be there, but she has the energy and the drive of Kevin Garnett, and the athleticism that he displayed. You know what I mean? As far
as much as you could say.
Yeah.
Below the rim. I mean, like it's like
Why?
a Garnett. I mean, it's like Garnett athleticism, but below the rim. That has to be put into perspective.
But can't dunk.
You know what? I can't.
I mean,
I can't with y'all.
I can see it. It doesn't even tell me.
Minus a half a foot, basically.
I can't.
Like a really athletic move. The ticket. It's a layup though.
Wow.
Like that explosive ticket dunk. You just picturing it.
It's a figure roll.
Big ticket.
And y'all complain. Y'all talk about me when I say I want to lower the rim
Oh, she would be ticket if we lowered it. Is what you're saying.
early.
Oh, okay. So right now she's stub.
Know what?
The big stub, not the ticket.
Know what? I'm not even
The big pre-order.
I'm not even. I even talking to
the big QR code. Where you going with this? The ticket's big QR code. The big email confirmation.
Are we done? Are we done?
I mean, because Duncan is a little rough. Duncan, okay, because Duncan wasn't that crazy athletic for
but he could dunk
everything. But he could.
I'm moving on to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, I think she submitted her Rookie of the Year case.
Right.
I feel like that should be unanimous as well. I know Angel Reese had a spectacular year as well, but with her number, the percentages,
Robo,
yeah. But Caitlin Clark, just to name some of the things, she has the most assists by a rookie in a single season, most assists in a season of all time. I think she just passed that last evening. So big ups to her.
Shout out to
and
Caitlin.
the Fever are in the playoffs.
Oh, there you have it.
So she's, I think the Fever are the 6th or the 5th seed right now. So
it's a success.
Yeah.
And the crowds, I mean, and what you call them, as we know, Liberty is sold out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fever games, I think they're up 400%. I think the ticket prices.
Yeah, and they've sold out all of them. And
what does that make the ticket though? It's a question. $27 for $400. Nah, I'm just kidding. I know it's more expensive than that. How much is a Fever ticket?
No,
like $100, $140.
It's comparable to going to a NBA basketball.
That's terrible.
To be honest.
I can't say that though, because I know for some that experience is, I've seen stars front row, so it's definitely picking up, and I'm proud for the game. I know I have it in jest, but I like to see the game grow.
She the average attendance for Fever games is about 16,000.
That's good.
So she's bringing a lot of eyes to the league. So that's what's up. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about these Knicks, man. Mm-hmm. NBA. Looks like Knicks are having a little, or what's being perceived as an internal friction with Julius Randle. He's eligible for a contract extension. 2 years left on his contract, this year and next year. But the last year of the contract is a player option. So a lot of people are saying that if New York doesn't offer him the extension now, that he may hit the free market. Should New York Knicks fans be worried about that?
Oh, just listen.
No.
Listen for that.
The
tree.
reason they extended him because they don't care if he goes. Right?
That's it.
I'm still listening for that tree out there. If it fell or not.
I don't think this is even a real story, to be honest. Like he has 2 years left on his contract. What are you talking about?
But a lot of New York Knicks fans will tell you he's crucial to their success. He's part of the success that what you want to call it. The team will be a championship contender with Julius Randle.
I mean, conference semis when everyone was beat up, broken hand, hip flexor, all this, and no, any added bridges, he's expendable.
Yeah, like what you said would be appropriate if it was Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
But Julius Randle's he's a 2010 guy. He's a good player.
Definitely.
Like, no one's saying he's not a good player, but I think they had the way their team's constructed. Like, there's a reason they didn't extend him. I think they'll survive if he does decide to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this: should they consider moving him?
Absolutely.
And if you move him, what do you move him for?
Height. Height. That's what they need. They need height. They don't.
Any particular players you would go after if you were
if you're 7 foot.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't think of anyone in particular because that's a limited amount of players. That's 7 foot, and you really be like, oh, we need him.
Hardenstein.
Yeah, a Hardenstein type. That's what they're doing.
Hardenstein.
Yeah.
When you say
That's
that, they just replace. They need someone to replace Hardenstein.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Who would have thought?
Wow.
Oh yeah, Rand. I mean, I don't know who would want to take on that contract by extending him for a sign and trade. I'm trying to think what team thinks they need more offense.
Would you target a player like Drummond for the Knicks?
No, and he's on Philly, right?
I think so. Yes.
I mean, I was hearing words of him going down to Phoenix as they need more offense. It just doesn't fit. Phoenix needs.
Phoenix
has a
is
good.
too much.
I mean, they have a good team, but they just need a team and not the compilation of stars they have there, which is not going to work out. They got to move Bill, not add Julius Randle. I think that adds to the problem. I don't know. Saying Warriors fits in where who will leave from the Warriors?
Yeah.
Is that Dale Davis' son? Or Antonio? That's Dale Davis' son, right?
Dale, yeah.
I mean, he's not 7 foot, but he's active on it. I mean,
Yeah, I think that would be a good fit.
yeah, right?
Davis from Golden State to the Knicks. I think that would be a good fit.
I don't think Julius would be a good fit in Golden State.
I don't know. It depends. I see how he's used. He clearly seems like he needs a breath of fresh air. He wasn't expecting that success for them so quickly without him. I know it was rough on the bench watching. As a player and competitor, if you're not locked into the team, you're not sharing that, success together. If you're not, to me, that camaraderie. If I'm hurt and I'm playing with you guys, I'm rooting you guys on crazy. If I think I'm the reason why this team is here, then I'm a little disgusted. But y'all playing without me, doing well.
I think we're going to see how good he is this year, as far as how much he impacts winning. We know he's a 2010 guy. He could put up numbers, and he's a good player. But I think if he can't fit in with the Knicks, then he's just not that type of player. Because this is a good team. So if they add you, they should be better. So we'll see.
See if he's a stat stuffer or a team player.
He is that already. That we know.
Yeah, there's some players who are good at putting up numbers. It's not even their fault. I just think this is how it is sometimes. But then when they're in have more, I always felt like great player. You put great players together, they win. If you put great players together, they don't win. They're not really that great. You know what I mean? That's just a philosophy of mine. So we're going to see how good he really is with all this talent on the Knicks.
Phoenix Suns.
Moving on to baseball, I just want to not going to spend too much time on it, but want to talk about it a little bit. Shohei Ohtani, Los Angeles Dodgers, on pace to be the first player to hit 50-50. 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Right now, he has 47 home runs and 48 stolen bases.
Done deal, pretty much. Right?
Yeah. He only has to hit 3 more home runs and get 2 more stolen bases. Right now, you could technically say he's part of the 45-45 club, but that don't sound too
appeasing.
Yeah.
50-50 is no one.
Nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody's where he's at right now, 45-45. So
I would say it would be one of the top 3 offensive seasons in the history of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I would go Bonds, Teddy Ball game batting 400.
And this.
Is it too early to think about Mount Rushmore for Ohtani?
Yeah, because his totals. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like who's better, who had a better career. Like, I don't think his career is going to match up to guys who had more longevity.
But does that change that thinking change if we include his pitching? The fact that, hey,
he
he's
doesn't have longevity in pitching either.
Two-way player.
Yeah. If you want to say he's the best player ever because of that, I completely understand it. But I think that's different than saying he had a better career than someone who has 300 wins.
Okay.
No championships.
Yeah.
Not yet. All right. But hey, he's on the right team to chase a championship. Yeah. I think the Dodgers are stacked from top to bottom. I think
with possibly the best overall player you have before with Mookie Betts, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think as his contract goes along, I think he'll be in a stronger position with them. We got to remember, right now he's only playing as a hitter. You know, he's not playing his other position.
Which you might say might keep him on the field longer. I mean, because Tommy John's a one throw away. Yeah. Which you take him out from your offensive punches you're pulling out from hitting. Listen, I would stick to what he's doing right now. We've seen him do it. It was exceptional. We know he can do it. But putting up these numbers, why mess with a good thing?
I think, at least what my thought process would be is that his team is stacked enough on the offensive side that, hey, you could take that risk if he wants to take it, you know, as far as being a pitcher and
but why do it except for our selfish ones? I mean, from you have a contract, one, you're paying him and he's batting like this, I would even just minimize. We know he can do it. Why even take a chance on something like that if you're paying him that much money? Except for like you, us three probably saying like, I want to see it.
And
him saying, hey, this is the type of player I want to be.
And maybe they could look at it like they're maximizing their dollar, right? Like we're paying you this much money, so yeah, we want you to do both.
Because he could be a starting pitcher on their staff.
Don't disagree with that. He lost time doing it that way though. I'm just saying, like it's you're definitely putting stress on the elbow just pitching alone, and then with torque. Swinging, I know it's muscle memory. You're just maximizing it double for me.
But like I said, I think if
had he not gotten injured, I would say this is a no-brainer. This is let's do it.
I think if he was still playing for the Angels, I would probably lean more toward where you're saying, because I think with the Angels, it was, hey, he needed to be on their pitching rotation because the rest of their pitchers sucked. He needed to be hitting because the only other person that could hit on the squad was Mike Trout. And 9 times out of 10, he would be injured and out of the game. So it's like, but on the Dodgers, they don't necessarily need him on their start rotation of pitchers.
So
you know what I mean?
You just want to do like a spot start?
You can have him.
It's not in a rotation.
Whatchamacallit, in that. You know what I mean? Or you can have him as a reliever. But if he's coming to the organization and say, hey, listen, I want to pitch. You know, I want to pitch and I want to hit. And you can, with him pitching with the Dodgers, you could be a lot more conservative than when he was pitching with the Angels. Because the Angels actually needed him to win.
What does that look like, though? I mean, the Angels, he was in rotation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dodgers is what?
Dodgers right now. This is his first year with the Dodgers, and
no, I get that, but how would that look in a pitching staff? It would be a spot start. he wouldn't be in a rotation, right? Or
they would. I think they would fit him into the rotation.
oh, well then it would just be like if he's in a rotation, then it's like any other. It would be like Anaheim.
I think with their pitching staff, he wouldn't be asked to. He would. They can afford to be more conservative as far as how long they allow him to pitch.
Yeah, but he would. But he would play every 5 games though if he's in a rotation.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would probably cut him to 5 innings or something.
Yes. Whereas, with Anaheim, they had him out there for 6, 7, 8.
Right, because he's an actual pitcher.
Either do it or don't, bro.
Right.
Like I just feel like it's almost like a load management type thing. If you're gonna make him a pitcher, I just don't believe in the pitch count. I just don't believe in it at all. So,
But I mean, because I think in today's baseball, most starting pitchers don't pitch the whole game.
If they can.
They try to, but most of them don't.
Right.
I think the anomaly is them pitching the whole game. Most of them get to maybe 6, 7 innings and then they're out. You know, and that's the ones that are going in hard and whatnot.
shout out to Nolan Ryan, man. Shout out to Nolan Ryan.
Most of them laid down bunts or took 3 a lot of times on the other end if they had to pitch like in the and if they had to hit in the National League, right? They just stood there and took 3.
It's fake like you're trying to bunt.
Yeah.
Run up the pitch count. You're really just taking pitches.
And any contact, it was a celebration. So he's special though, definitely.
Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think Shohei Ohtani is having a special year? Do you think he should go back to pitching? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. And don't forget, you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. I want to talk a little bit about entertainment. We were talking about this the other day, and kind of like the fall of the New York hip hop moguls. And when I say fall, it's all relative because none of them are starving or on the street somewhere.
Not yet. Careful. Where we're going with this. Be careful.
They're not on the street. They're not starving. They're not struggling to pay bills and whatnot.
Not yet. Again, not yet. Not yet.
Some might be.
But I want to talk about the fall of, I guess, the 90s hip-hop moguls from New York. Dame Dash, Sean Puffy Combs, Irv Gotti, and the elder statesman of the group, Russell Simmons.
I don't know what to put with that one out there. I'll just say Def Jam. I'll leave that one alone. Def Jam. Yeah, no, it's just, this was, man, I would say the golden age of hip hop for us.
Yeah.
I guess the quote is Diddy wasn't on yet. It wasn't on. Dame Dash giving us those prolific moments and how he used to go back and forth with Def Jam. Just guys from the bottom, from quote unquote the gutters, we say, but not in those terms. You know, just from the streets where we come from, and fought their way into corporate America and said, "Hey, we're not knocking on the door, we're kicking it in." You had a label called Murder Inc. You know what I mean? So
took the hustle from the streets to the boardroom. To your point,
and couldn't have been prouder of all of them. And at the time, Russell was the elder. Excuse me, Russell Simmons. Right? I would say elder statesman who overlooked everyone. He was like the godfather more.
One of the founders of, I think Russell Simmons is one of the foundations of hip hop.
And
the business, the business of hip hop.
Right. If you peel back all the layers of it now, which was happening then, which we didn't know, it makes sense to where they are right now. Once you find out, once you're finding out more stuff that was happening then, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's disheartening. It's guys, personally who, you kind of like look up to, to be honest. Like, they look like us, they talk like us, they dress like us, and they showed a way to become like very successfully legally at a time where a lot of people were being successfully by, illegally, you know. Yeah, it's just very disheartening. Of course, I think we speak for, we all wish them the best in most of the cases. But yeah, learning about some of the things that were going behind the scenes weren't so glamorous. Can't really co-sign everything that some of these guys did. But it's very disheartening just seeing guys who really were just like trailblazers in the music business, especially hip hop culture, who did a lot, created a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities, and pretty much left a blueprint for the next generation. So but it's a lot of issues going on with those guys.
Guys who took business serious, and you felt taking a meeting from someone. It was a face of someone you can relate to. You've heard stories of artists during those times going into these boardrooms and having people who didn't mirror them or mirror their music say it's not good enough. You know what I mean? These four that we just named was sad to say, a safe place to where you can say, like, I might go to Murder Inc., I might go to Def Jam, I might go to a Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and say, like, they have A&Rs that can relate to my music, that could push it upstairs and say, like, this is what's up, as opposed to, no offense, Jen or Mark for marketing. They tell them to come down and take a meeting and look at the guy and say, no, I don't like the way you dress, and you're just missing out on so much talent. And they made it. Which made it feel like we made it.
Now, I know for Diddy and Russell, it's probably a wrap as far as being an entertainment business like they were.
I think it's pretty much correct on that one. I'll agree on that.
But for Dame Dash and Irv Gotti, do we see a path forward for them as far as getting back into the entertainment business and becoming a major power like they were before? Like, hey, Murder Inc., Rockefeller, Def Jam, they were movers and shakers in the game at one point, and could influence could impact the culture, their impact had major consequences. Do you think that they can get back to that place where, hey, they can be movers and shakers in the entertainment industry? And
I think they are now. I don't think it's as much. Obviously, it's not the Rockefeller Murder Inc. heyday, but for better or worse, Dame's been in the news all week. Right, Irv. People still hope he gets better. He's definitely recently suffered a stroke. Prayers go out to him and his family. Hope he's full recovery.
Shout out there.
But
Irv too.
The same. It's hard to say because I feel like Dame at this point he's concentrating on being so independent. He's not going to have that corporate machine behind him to elevate him to the status where Rockefeller was. So, but I do think he still got the same impact. But just not the same, I guess, corporation behind him. It'll be him. It'll be more of an impact with showing people you can do it yourself. You don't need the corporation.
And I agree with that to a point. And I'll go a little further. I'm not too sure about his impact either, because I don't know what a Dame cosign means now. You know what I mean? I think he's put himself so much in that independent market where he says that now, with my ego, I'm not going to fall on my face. I've really put myself there that I'm not going to take a check from someone else. It's either make it or break it where I'm at, which I like.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, couple that with, I believe somewhere, somehow, he's blackballed in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know what you add that strong, driven mind of being your own boss and not likable in the industry. I don't know you mesh that together with a Dame Dash co-sign or endorsement is right now in the industry.
Yeah.
I think they still know people they could reach out to, but I think it's get this word over to this, that would be this, to that. And as opposed to you got to take a Dame Dash phone call back in the day. Like, Dame could talk to you any type of way back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, taking a Jay-Z phone call now is like, stop everything. Corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with me, and I don't know this, Dame, it's a bang. And with Irv, he has relationships throughout. You know, I've seen him on TV. And he still has his fingers in different places. But even with that, like, it just seemed like if you rubbed, and I don't want to put this on him, if you rubbed Jay a wrong way at one point, it just seemed like you're out. And I'm not putting this on Jay-Z. But, I mean, a Jay-Z clone sign could help a lot of them right now, put it that way. Or 4.
Well, I think 2 of them definitely won't get it at this point.
He hasn't got it yet. I mean, he's out there. I mean, dude, he hasn't got it yet. And I think he's playing the safe role on this. Like, he's his own man. It would help all 4, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't help him, though.
Not at all.
And that's the case, right?
Not at
there
all.
You have it right there.
Not at
that
all.
nailed it.
Now, should he?
That's doing
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I don't.
Would it hurt to just say, like, because if these are your friends, and I know y'all been through quite a bit, him and Dame left on a note where Dame is sour now. Dame is like I forget, but I'll never forgive how he stole from me. So Dame is in that lane.
Okay.
Irv's had some issues with him. Diddy has some history with him. And Russ definitely knows him. Do I, as if I'm Jay, do I offer my support in these guys and me just knowing them? I want the chips to fall how they fall, but listen, these guys are my friends. And
yeah,
I give my prayer. I can't even say, I don't think you can say I give my support.
Yeah, I think with like I said, 2 of them, there's no way.
Yeah, let's call it like it is. Like, Russell and Puff are kind of like you can't really touch them right now.
That's wild.
Yeah,
So.
they can't.
You just can't.
Not with what they're. It's because of the allegations.
Because of the allegations,
Right.
you don't want
So
to. You don't want to
egregious,
stay.
right.
You don't want to stand next to them.
And then with Puff, the allegations plus that video. And
they keep coming. Like,
you know,
it's nonstop.
And it's like, hey,
as a friend, my prayers, I feel for them. Can't even do that because what about the victims? You might walk down that
No,
rabbit
you
hole.
could do it. You just can't let other people know that you're doing it.
Oh, then forget it then.
yeah, because
you
and I would say you can't do that because it's like, hey, he has a wife, he has daughters. Now I'm co-signing Puffy being the man that can chase down a woman and beat her ass in the elevator. Nah, as a father of daughters, I don't think any father of daughters could co-sign that, no matter how close y'all are.
That's not co-signing the action. You know what I'm saying? Unless, I mean, I'm saying, like, if you're saying, like,
I'm not co-signing what he did. I'm co-signing him. He made a mistake, but
at no point in time you make a statement where you say you'll say, like, at no point in time do I condone these actions of my friends whatsoever. And if it turns out to be true, then they need to be, you know, litigated and take to the nth degree. But these are my friends, you know what I mean, and yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
Is there any way to put that out like that way?
I don't think so.
Not with those 2.
Not with those.
The Irv Dame thing is just more like a personal thing. Like, no, if Jay-Z says, "Oh, Irv's my guy" or "Dame's my guy," it's not gonna be any uproar. I think some people might be happy to see them back together.
I think you do that. I think some doors open for both.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
With those 2, Irv and Dame,
they're the safe ones. They're the safe friends. They're the safe ones. Whereas the other 2, the doors were closed for you, trying to open doors for them.
Wow.
and that's tough, man. Real tough.
So it never happened. All that history they had, it just never happened.
I mean, for what Dame says, I don't know if Dame really wants the co-sign.
No. He feels like he's...
although it would help, he knows it would help him, but he's just like, he made a statement like, yo, a lot of dudes, get help from their crew, the crew walking through doors to help them. My crew closed the doors, went through the door and closed it before I could get through it.
He personally feels like Jay devalued
Him, Rockefeller.
Rockefeller on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when they were going to sell it, devalued it, went down,
And bought it.
and then he bought it.
Which is
So-
ugly work.
So good business,
Ugly.
not a good
work.
friend.
That's right.
Not a good
Excellent
friend.
business move, but ugly as a friend.
So, yeah, I understand where things.
And Irv is a little much more. It's just men being men, like the whole Nas thing and the whole
And
thing. And now him and Nas are friends.
I
which is
think
so
I don't
wild.
think that's a big thing. I think Irv
could
thing
be.
is more of the legal issues that he went through, and
He wasn't there.
it's not quite the Puff Russell thing, but there was a point you want to keep your distance away from Irv too.
Right.
And also, hey, can't discount the 50 Cent of it all when it comes to Irv. As far as Jay,
I don't think
Doing-
Jay cares.
No, I'm saying Irv, as far as Irv's perception of him and Jay's relationship. Hey, Jay having business dealings with 50, however light it was. Hey, he did songs with him. I run New York.
That was retaliation for you trying to sign Nas.
Right.
I think you know what I mean. I mean, he can feel how he want, but I don't see how you could really be mad at Jay for that.
And I don't see a big Jay-Z 50 relationship now anyway.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like 50 still taking shots at Jay. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying? So-
Okay. Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. What do you guys think of these golden era hip hop moguls? Taking a little fall for some, a big fall for others, and so waiting to see the outcome of a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to Russell and Diddy. Hit us up on social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget, you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, before we get to what's on the radar, want to send a rest in power to James Earl Jones, passed this week, and Chad McQueen, son of Steve McQueen, he passed as well.
Come on, right now, come on. The true villain in Karate Kid, the true antagonist of the Karate Kid.
Yes.
The one with the blonde hair. Go back and say. Also, Frankie Beverly.
And Frankie Beverly, how can I forget the legend? But rest in power to all those gentlemen. Give our condolences out to their family. Yeah, Darth Vader.
And King Chaffee Joe, come on, man, iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Iconic.
Killed her with your no.
When I left her, she was alive.
What's on the radar, fellas?
For some reason, I am stuck to this whole thing.
Pete, what's on your radar?
Fight night. Canelo Alvarez, Edgar Berlanga, middleweight fight. Therefore, Brooklyn boy.
What's on my radar? WNBA. Last couple of games of the regular season. About to slide into the playoffs soon. That's what's on the radar. Fellas, another one in the bag. To all our fifths out there, stay safe.
Peace. Just to have to be able to see. So Barry Bonds.